Hi there. Welcome to listeners from across the globe. My name is Noune, and this is Best Damn Reality, a new podcast intending to help bridge the spiritual and material worlds. Each week, I invite you to join me and to suspend all preconceived notions, to open your minds and your hearts to seeing everything from a much vaster perspective. Should you be enticed enough, please also consider visiting me on my YouTube channel and on my business Facebook page, both under the name Noune. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the journey. Good morning. 11:35 a.m. on Sunday, March 14th, 2021 in Sarasota, Florida. I want to begin by acknowledging that I have not had the impulse to record anything in weeks. I've been going through a very, very big personal piece of my character's evolution, very consciously. And when I say that, I mean that I'm very cognizant of the reality of the multidimensionality of existence, least of all in my own existence. While I am simultaneously known in the Earth dimension as Allison Irene Noune, over 10 years ago now, I remembered myself to be way beyond just the character. And learning how to live that multidimensionality, which essentially is to live the oneness that we all are, united in the one energy of light and love, to live that, knowing that through not only characters that in my case for the majority of my life did not have that awareness of what I really was, but in a world that has literally been set up to make us only confused about this greater reality and set up in the exact opposite energetic foundation, being that we live in a world of fear. And yes, that world is collapsing and is more apparent and being revealed at insane levels at present. And there is, without doubt, a very real spiritual war going on. And being that it is a spiritual war, it is a war more than anything. It is a war of energies. And I resisted this notion until this virus horseshit hit. I resisted this. I didn't want to believe that I would have to battle. I didn't, and it's not about getting violent, but rest assured, it is about taking back the truth and each and every one of us owning ourselves and being fully responsible for ourselves and how our energies contribute out and play within all of these worlds. And at this point in time, it is pure chaos out there, especially for those that are highly sensitive to these greater realities, these unseen energies. And I fall into that category. Therefore, since the numbers of people that are tapped into that still fall far short from the total number of human beings walking around in form on this planet right now, I am the only one that is going to be able to give myself voice and that higher version of me, the version of me that I know is playing in those higher dimensions. But when I have to come and play within my earthbound character, within the ego of Allison, it has become very clear that I cannot fulfill the mission that my soul came here to do through the character of Allison without being prepared to fight for Allison. And to give Allison a voice. And that is taking me every bit of my 45 years in this form to learn. It is still remarkably new. It is still very much unpracticed. I do not have hardly any examples, not even from the periphery, of doing this for myself, to even speak to what the fuck I'm going through and what I've been going through this now, really since Christmas night. But most specifically right now in this moment within the past 24 hours. Something that took place and I was wholly, unexpectedly bombarded by, and I did my best to try to guide this particular thing because I knew what the likelihood was of what was going to transpire. I knew it. It was like the chessboard. It was like I took steps to try to address multiple moves down the chessboard and was still absolutely bombarded by what I absolutely feel is dark energy. It's dark energy. Now, do I think any of the players in this incident are aware of that? No. Absolutely not. In fact, it is so beautifully disguised that let's just say it makes it just the words of the pain, the words of the spectrum of emotions that I'm going through and still very much processing right now is so brand new that I don't even want to try to delve into the specifics. What I'm trying to focus on right now and capture a little bit of in this here and now moment, in this live, unedited, raw, called to, this was an impulsive call to record. I have not recorded anything in almost 3 weeks. And I was called, I guess, 2 weeks. It's been, the last recording I did was 2 weeks ago. I'm just trying to capture a snippet at the highest level. And at that level, what this is it is me really trying to be a mama bear to my younger self. From one perspective, to stand up from my present day version and learn how to, I'm not trying to hurt anybody by standing up for my experience and my feelings. But I don't have any repertoire of experiences to which I can speak when I have managed to, one, give myself voice and stand up for myself, my feelings, my experiences, knowing that my intention is never to hurt. I hardly have any examples of even doing that. Very few, less than a dozen, I would say, over the past 8 years. And I have no examples of that being received in a way that I know me doing this is affecting adversely at least one other person directly right now in terms of making that person uncomfortable and uneasy and probably not feeling so good. That's not my intention, and I feel badly about that. But I can't own that part. That's not my intention. I'm trying to get more graceful with this. Part of this recording is almost sending out to the universe. Please, I want to hear from others. And there are a few healers that I have now been introduced to through YouTube and through other people that I've been following for the greater part of the past year through all this craziness. All of these people are overseas. There are a few females that I feel like would be able to speak to what I am experiencing right now, because I absolutely feel like it is on these nth degrees of the energy. And I'm not trying to be egotistical. I'm not trying to be arrogant. But I know to what degree I'm tapped into those energies, but in a very different way. I'm not psychic. But I get the feelings and the intuitions and I just know something is not right with what just transpired. And on the surface, it couldn't look more sweet. It couldn't be more manipulated and coming across as more opposite of what I am sensing it actually is. And I don't use the word fear very often. I'm careful with my words because they have tremendous power. But I would be lying if I said there wasn't an aspect of myself, and it is minor, that isn't a little, again, I use this lightly. I'm not using it, it's light. But there is and I don't know that it's exactly fear that I'm feeling. I think it's more just, holy shit, universe, I need some assistance. I could definitely benefit from assistance from people, and I'm not looking for validation from my ego character's perspective to take my side. I am not seeking, this isn't about egos and sides. This is a battle. This is a spiritual war. Real, serious shit is at stake in the physical dimension. And the only way we get through this is for each and every spiritually awake person to fight for love, to fight for the true oneness. And that is the only side I am interested in. I'm not interested in getting lost in the myopic nuances of Allison's character. But the fact is, we can use our characters' examples. And if all the parties have the ability to emotionally detach from the characters and actually genuinely speak of their characters with others, it's almost like going after a game in the locker room and dissecting the roles that you played on the court and specific plays and things, and analyzing what you did right and analyzing what you did wrong. But everyone can tell you from an athlete's perspective, you learn more from your losses, you learn more from your mistakes than you do from what you're doing right. But you have to separate. You can't get all butthurt and take it from an ego level if your teammates are analyzing your actions that you took in your role, in this case, in the more easier to accept way to discuss it through sports, and just talking about how you executed a particular play or didn't execute a particular play on the field or on the court or a particular situation. I'm talking about doing that as human beings. And I definitely perceive that something really high level, very high developed energy that is not of the light. And I allowed this back close to me. And I did not allow it because I needed it. And exactly what I knew was going to, I don't want to speak to the specifics right now. It's not time for that. It may never be time. What I am seeking right now, universe, and by sharing this, so I'm seeking others who may be able to feel what it is I'm saying, trust and believe that I am not communicating to you out there as Allison, the character, because out in the universe, the ethers, I'm coming to you as my higher essence. I'm coming to you as that through my character to help guide my own character better. My own character is here with the awareness of her higher self to play a role at this time on this battlefield. It's a battlefield right now. And I'm not naturally, I don't want to battle. I feel like I've been battling my whole life. All I want to do is celebrate and play. And I see the version on the other side of this. But the fucking reality is, in the physical dimension, we have a huge transition to get through. And we have a lot of work as human beings to learn what it means to operate harmonically, in harmony, as a team, united, without ego. We have a tremendous amount to learn. And I can't play my role if I hide from my ability to speak to what it means to operate like a team. And you add the dimension of me being dialed in to a lot of feelings, emotions, and things that you cannot point to in the physical dimension. things that you cannot describe with words, but we are left to work through them with words. That combination, I can't not go forward with it. But in order to go forward with it, I definitely need to find others. I'm being called to work with others, but I only if others are able to play at that same level. And right now, I would love to hear from others. And like I said, I'm thinking of 3 females I've recently stumbled upon on YouTube, all overseas, that I swear I think will feel what I'm referencing and can help speak to this, just so I can play my role better and more efficiently. And so that I am not inefficient and wasting as much energy as I have been in trying to keep my human character balanced and on point and harmonious, first and foremost within herself. I'm not going to apologize for being able to clearly describe and know who I am, what I'm here for, what I desire, what I need, what I have the capability of doing, what I need to get something done. But none of these things, I was like this. I took action in a leadership way all the way through college. But once I got out into that quote unquote real world, I quickly learned I was absolutely not wired to rise through the hierarchy and to be a leader within that world. I was meant to get a lot of experiences, short experiences, touch down in a lot of different big energetic places, to get reads, to have experiences and develop very close relationships in a lot of cases very quickly, but they were all short term, so that I could come back later on down the line, the linear line of time, and revisit a lot of those experiences through my very keen memory that my human character has, to learn the discernment and to understand myself, my mission, and the greater truths much better once I could reflect upon those experiences down my linear timeline. I wasn't meant to be a leader within that world. I was absolutely positively intended to be a leader, however. But I haven't been a vocal leader for over 25 years. Well, almost 25 years. I was still doing a little bit of leading as an alumni shortly after graduation. So let's just say 20 years. I have not led like this in 20 years. And I don't have time to prove to anybody what I'm capable of doing. I fucking know what I'm capable of doing. I suffer from being really hard on myself. I definitely have had a history of negative self-talk. But I do not ever have I suffered from low self-esteem. Confidence? Low confidence? Absolutely. When you play for a coach who totally diminishes you, when you grow up allowing people close to you diminish you, you're going to have some confidence issues. But because of my success as an athlete and my success as a student, I built, thank God, extremely strong self-confidence, self-esteem because of those skill sets that I could physically see and experience that benefit me, most notably being an athlete, way more than being a top student. My athletic experiences have saved my life. They've saved my life all the way through, including present day, via my experience, not directly as an athlete, but as an employee of an athletic company called Ironman. That experience absolutely has been my most recent training ground for the role that I am being called to play right now. And I'm the only one that can stand up for myself in this way. And this has all been brought to the surface in this hugely unexpected way in the past 24 hours. And the long and the short of it is standing up for myself in a way that I am not yet practiced in. but knowing now without doubt, I am not leaving my wingman. To quote one of my favorite movies from the 80s, I'm not leaving my wingman, and my wingman is having self-love for myself. And part of self-love is I'm not going to doubt myself. I've had a lifetime of everybody else doubting me. I'm not leaving myself. I'm not doubting what I experienced and what I felt. I am not dishonoring that. I'm not leaving my wingman. And I have to get fierce and hard like this because it is that hard, because I've never done this. And to learn to do this in your mid-40s with the background that I've had and the power that I come up against, I am a powerful person. So when I have had to battle with specifically ego issues, rest assured it has been only with others that are an equally powerful level. But their awareness of it has been all over the board. All the way from some that are absolutely consciously, fully consciously aware of what they're doing with their power, to the opposite extreme. And I would say in this case, to such an opposite extreme that the entity that I do believe is being way more influenced by dark than light absolutely, positively believes the opposite. And listen, I hope I'm wrong. I don't want to be right. But I know that what I'm feeling is what I'm feeling. And if there's even a 1% chance that what I am feeling is accurate, I cannot take that risk. And yet, I opened myself up to that risk because of the magnitude of the love that I have, because I can't give up on others, because there was no way I could know for certain, without touching with the energy again and seeing, had it changed in 2 years? Had anything changed? How could I know if I didn't touch in? And I knew what I was risking exposing myself to. As sure as shit, was not doing it for the benefit of my ego and my character of Allison, who had only been hurt by this energy, despite knowing that this energy cares for her. At least, again, a part of the energy does. But the part that's in the driver's seat of this entity, this being, there's no way it's of the light. There's no way it's of the light. That's all I can say. Because if it was of the light, then it would be able to hold space for my light and not feel the need to knock my light down. If people can't hold space for you when you're in your best, I think that's a really, really big sign. And unfortunately for me, one of my greatest patterns, if not the greatest pattern, is accepting that as love from all my closest relationships. Love that actually knocked me down. Never. And again, it was never with ill will or with full consciousness. Very rarely did I come across somebody who consciously played that within me. But because of the magnitude of what I feel I'm being called to do, the importance of what is going on in the physical on this planet right now and at the spiritual level simultaneously, I cannot afford missteps. I cannot afford to take a chance with my soul. When I bare my soul, now I bare my soul now in a lot of ways, but I reserve the essence of what I reveal and allow somebody in to a small group. And that is what got jolted yesterday in a way that I don't know how to handle it. I'm making it up as I go, but I know step one in how to handle it is I sure as shit am not going to deny my feelings and experiences as I work through this. And that is really, really hard for me. Because for most of my life, I took on everybody else's stuff. And even though I didn't know or believe that and think that a lot of it was mine, I conditioned myself to accept everybody to accept responsibility for all of it, most notably the emotional. And the emotional is part of the unseen. And in the past 10 years, if I've done nothing, I have honed in on my energy. I fucking know what's mine. And I fucking know what's not mine. This is not mine. I was attacked yesterday. I was attacked. And it's made more dangerous when all the players, where there's no conscious intention. I do not believe there was conscious intention. But that's what makes it, that's why I'm giving this call to the universe. And I don't know where or how or if I'll share this recording. I have no idea. As I've always said with all of my recordings, this is first and foremost for me. This is for me. This is me doing something, like I said. I don't have practice standing up for myself. But this has triggered all sorts of shit from young Allison's life when she definitely didn't have a voice. So this is my way of trying to protect her, nurture her, validate her, comfort her. This is me doing that right now. Back off. Back the fuck off, energy. She opened herself up. She was trying to do it to help well beyond her. I can accept that it didn't go as planned, but what I was not ready for was for it to all be turned around and to be made like my stuff. What? No fucking way am I allowing that to happen. I allowed that for the first 35 years of this life. And I know my soul signed up for that. I believe that. But that is why I have to learn this lesson. That is why I have to share this in some way. If only to try to share it with some of these healers that I've been exposed to that might be able to validate and pick up on some bit of this energy to which I'm referencing. And I'm just going to conclude for now. And I've had him in my head the whole time. Chris, it would have been your birthday today. I don't think it's an accident that the timing of any of this. There are no accidents. I know you're with me right now. Fuck, man. Please guide me from up there, from the higher realms. Please. And I will conclude with humbly, in great humility, asking for that from the greater energy beyond my friend I knew as Chris Thuringer. I only want to serve the light. I only want to co-create from love. I'm not comfortable with battling. I don't want to make it a war. I don't want to make people uncomfortable. But I know that I cannot do what I came here to do, ultimately to be an example of love and a world of love, if I don't stick up for love within my own character's world. And what I felt yesterday, that was not not of the light and love. And no one else but me can look out for me in that regard, and especially when the energies get this potent and at these high levels. This is a gifted, energetic being. Powerful, energetic being. And I can't let my guard down. And this is not easy or particularly comfortable for me. I ask for forgiveness for the one person who I know I'm going to affect, at least for the short term, negatively. That's not my intention. I ask for forgiveness for any pain that I've ever inadvertently caused. But I know to what degree I have been living from my heart with oneness and love as my guide this entire fucking life, long before my awakening. It was the natural thing for this being to do. Now more than ever, I cannot forget that. And I must be in my own corner at the nth degree and defend if anything other than love comes at me. Happy birthday, Chris. I love you to both beings, primarily that were the triggers of this. I am sorry for any pain I've ever caused either of you on any level at any time through any life. I thank you for the roles that you both have played over these past years as I've experienced tremendous growth. I don't ever intend to throw anybody under the bus or to air dirty laundry. But enough is enough. There's only two sides we have to be concerned of: the side of good, the side of evil, the side of light, the side of dark. I'm fighting for the light. I'm fighting for the good. Not judging the bad, but you better believe we need to have awareness of it. We need to transmute it. We need to forgive it. And we need to work and stick together to do that at the level that we're being asked to do it right now on this planet. Thank you for listening.